I was really happy with our third quarter. I thought, we came out and really responded, with better defensive energy, better defensive intensity, and we were getting stops. So that allowed us to get out and score a lot of points in transition in Phoenix, which is when we're at our best. We rely on our defense and rebounding in order to produce offense, and that will fuel us. And we were able to do that. We scored 29 points, in that third quarter, and really had a decent second quarter too. And in the fourth, we just got to continue to work on our consistency. I've been saying this and been telling these guys, but just work on our consistency in terms of being able to keep the ball in front and defend without fouling. So those were the biggest takeaways from me in terms of our defense. We just got to continue to get better at that. These two and Gretsch, I thought really, they were super aggressive, super assertive in terms of their scoring, and really proud of Berry for getting 11 rebounds. It's something that we've been really talking about and trying to get her to, get on the boards more. And then from those rebounds, that produced points as well. And get to the free throw line, another thing that, talking about all the last couple months about getting manufacturing points from the free throw line. And I thought she did a great job of that. To be able to score 27 and 11, we need those rebounding, and we need our guards to continue to rebound at a higher level overall across the board. But I think it's great. I think, SEMO presented, they were a much better team than last year. They're physical. I thought that was good for us. I'm glad they pressed us. It was good for us to see the press a little bit going into our next game. So just, every game for this team, we're going to learn. We're going to learn. There's going to be good things. There's going to be bad things. But it's about how do we respond, how do we take this information, evaluate it, and continue to get better. So I liked a lot of things today. I liked a lot of our responses. We just got to continue to be consistent.
Go ahead and raise your hand. Questions for the players, and we'll get you a microphone.
Hey, Daniel Thompson with Basketball Society. This question is for Berry. It looked like when I was looking at your stats from last year that about half of your field goal attempts came from behind the three-point line. I think your first 8 makes tonight were under the arc. Was that a concerted effort in the offseason to build out your game, knowing that they were going to have more responsibility this year?
Yeah, I think that was definitely part of what I wanted to do in the offseason. I think last year my role kind of more so was shooting threes, but I think I knew I wanted to come into this year and just work on expanding my game and going inside, outside, and just trying to be able to score in whatever way possible.
I guess for both of you two, the wings, obviously you two, Gretsch, Jazz to a degree, what can that be? Like, it seems like there's a lot of firepower there for you guys offensively. How can that grow, and what do you think that can turn into?
I think it can be really good for us. I think it's just encouraging when we have so many different threats and a lot of people that can play a lot of really good defense. So I think each of us just fuels each other on the court. If maybe I miss a shot, then I know that I can be confident in any of those other players just to be confident on offense and just take those shots as well.
I think we also, all of us have different skill sets, but we're all able to play the same position, which I think makes us really special. And we're all just learning from one another, so I think that's also really important. That's going to help us so much in the future.
Maddie, I remember you talking about in the summer just wanting to come over here for a challenge, and that's why you made this transfer. But just a night like this, do you feel like that's the kind of impact you want to make on this team moving forward, and what are you kind of looking to build off of tonight?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot I can improve still on the night, but I think for my first game, it felt really good to be out there, and I feel like I wasn't forcing a lot either. And then again, it is challenging. I wasn't scoring a lot in the first half. That's fine. I need to find other stuff to do. And then I got it going in the second half. That felt great. I just want to produce in any way I can for this team.
Question for either of you. Just wanted to get your thoughts on just the mindset coming out of the half. I think the first half was kind of up and down for you guys. Just what was that mindset for you guys coming out?
I think we always know that we have to come out in the third quarter and just give our best effort and just hit them first, not wait for them to make plays or just be aggressive, just knowing that the first 5 minutes of the third quarter is the most important for the second half, and just knowing that that's gonna just bring our fuel for the rest of the half. And I think we were able to do that today and just know that we had to come out and just be really aggressive.
Berry, if rebounding was something emphasized to you, what's been key for you in taking that next step there?
I think honestly it's just like the effort, just making the conscious effort every time to make sure I'm crashing the board, and then always just like boxing out. I think just getting some of those rebounds early was just able to help me fuel my game for the rest of the game. So I think just having that like extra motor and keep going and pursuing those rebounds has been helpful.
Maddie, coming off the bench, what are you looking for to try to find a way to make an impact in the game, or how do you adjust to that?
Yeah, I mean, coming off the bench, I just want to be a spark for the team. Like, we talk about that all the time. And, like, regardless, I'm going to do whatever I have to do. If I'm starting, I'm going to play the same way as if I'm, like, the last person coming off the bench. Like, all I have to do is put in effort, just do what I have to do, and just make an impact in any way.
Maddie, just kind of follow up on that, the process of transferring and then obviously getting used to a new team, what does that process look like for you, and how comfortable are you now, do you feel like, going into the season as you get deeper here?
Yeah, I mean, the transition was easy at first, but with the support of all my teammates and the coaches, they have a lot of trust in me, so that's helped a lot. And then, yeah, I mean, it hasn't been like hard at all, and I mean, I just have so much support here, and it feels great, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
A question for both of you. Just want to get your thoughts on the SEMO press. How do you guys feel that you guys adapted to that tonight?
I think we did pretty well with it. That was our first time kind of going against the press, but I think our press fake was working really, really well. I think we were able to stay patient and just have good passes, and really just seeing the whole floor. I think our guards did a good job. Once they got the first pass, they were looking up and looking opposite, and we were able to get advantages on offense.
Barry, that was your first career double-double and career highs in points and rebounds. I guess what made it easy for you today?
I think my teammates really helped. I think they were able to get a lot of assists. I think I was able to get some really good looks based off my passes from my teammates, which I think was really helpful to get some easy buckets going. And I think just being aggressive, looking to take whatever advantage it was that I had on offense, if they were taking away my shot, just driving that, or if I had someone smaller on me, just going back to the basket. So I think that's what was able to help me.
For either or both of you, there were a few transition threes tonight. Like, what are you guys looking for to decide when to put those up or when to drive in a little bit?
I mean, that's like our offense. We're looking to score quick, and then we know when we need to bring it out and set something up, but I mean, we were feeling it from the three toward the end, so we just let it fly.
Everybody good? Quick mic for a question for Coach. Around the room.
It was a bit of a whistle-happy game today, right? I guess, how do you navigate that kind of game, especially in the first game of the season when you're trying to get a system going?
Yeah, it was. It was tough to watch for everyone, I think. But it is what it is. I just told our team we have to adjust too. You got to learn. Obviously, they're calling it tight, so you gotta, you gotta adjust to how the game's being called. So, but I don't know if I've ever had a team that sent someone to the line 34 times. That's a lot. So. We obviously need to be more disciplined in our defense and not bailing people out.
It's a similar question for you at the wings. Like, we talk so much about what they can do, but how do you see that taking shape and kind of being a focal point for you guys?
Yeah, it's nice to have some versatility and have some options, and it's not like last year we went heavy to Dal, right, with a lot of our zoom action and getting her downhill. Well, we have multiple people now that we can kind of get them going, and and then you got to guard them because they can score at all three levels. So I think it's just gonna be fun to watch, to see them starting to gel together. It's still so early. Like, you see flashes of it when they're making passes, and Gretch made some crazy passes, and they're playing so connected. And there's times where we're not playing that way. So it's a process. It'll come, but I thought there were some really good things tonight between all of them. And I also think once we get Aaliyah back too, and just even have one more guard where we can even give some of those guys a little bit of a break sooner, I think that's going to help us too, because we can keep people fresher.
Coach, kind of on the same lines, there were a lot of minutes for Destiny Jackson, and also a high assist rate in this game. What does it do for the wings to have a point guard that can blow by defenders, create space, draw defenses and kick and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, that quickness, is just, it's we've had that right in our guards. You saw that with someone like a Makira, you know, in the past, and she can just get by her defender. And Destiny's a high level passer. You know, she has great vision. She'll start making those. She makes all of her layups in practice. She'll start making. That's the least of my concern. She's getting there. She can get to the rim. She'll finish those. But to have 6 assists and only 2 turnovers in 33 minutes as a freshman, and they were physical. Like, they were getting up and they were guarding, and so I think that's really, really good for her. And even in just our 3 games, our scrimmage, our exhibition, and then now, I just see growth every game, and she's just going to continue to feel more comfortable, feel more confident, and run the team. So where it you know, obviously it sucks that Aaliyah's out, and you hate to have anyone out. You know, I always try. It's hard for me to be positive at times about it, but maybe it's, you know, it'll help us in the long run because Destiny's getting some really good experience early on and really good minutes now. And then we bring Aaliyah back in and you know, she'll have that experience of some college games under her belt.
Shauna, I know you mentioned just the impact and how you like bringing Maddie off the bench as a spark. What do you sort of envision as that role and what kind of impact that she can provide?
Yeah, I mean, she could start. We have 6, 7, you know, starters, right? Like, we have a lot of kids that could start. So I love her coming off because she's literally instant energy on defense, on offense. She's aggressive. She's gonna come in. She's gonna get in the mix, and I just really like having that off the bench. Some of our best teams. Here, maybe not as much because we haven't had the depth, but even when we had Gretchen coming off the bench, Gretchen could have started last year, right? But it's just our best teams at Dayton. I had a first team all conference kid that I put on Jen Giacone, who was a assistant here my first year. I had her coming off the bench, and she was a first team all conference player her senior year because of what she did, and then she's still gonna play. Like, Maddie played 28 minutes, you know, so she's playing a ton of minutes. You have to have that bench. The elite teams have firepower off the bench.
Coach, what was your message to the team today? Obviously, this is a group that hasn't played a lot together, but just after game 1, just what was that message?
After the game?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I told them, obviously, anytime you win a basketball game and you go 1-0, it's hard. It is, so much goes into winning one game. It is so hard to win a game, right? So we need to enjoy it, and you need to be proud of it, and there's a lot of good things, but then it's very simple. We got to do better of keeping the ball in front of us. We can't get blown by so much, and they know that, so we're going to continue to work on it, and that then also, because if we're in rotation more, now our rebounding is going to be affected by that as well. So that's it. That's as simple as it gets defensively. It's really hard, but it's very simple. And then offensively, I don't even think we were that great, and we scored 91 points. So we'll get that coming. My concern is defense right now and rebounding and getting them. And I was very, I don't know the right word, in one of the timeouts. And then I said, you guys, you got to figure this out. And I didn't yell or scream the rest of the timeouts. And at halftime, I said, you guys, you got to figure this out. You know the answers to the test. They know exactly what they need to do. They know how to do it. You got to figure it out. And that's part of the process of growing and maturing as a young team. At some time, you just got to draw the line in the sand and take extreme ownership and say, we're getting a stop here, or we're not getting blown by, or we're going to be in our positioning and be there for help. So those are things that we'll just continue to, I got to keep saying it, I got to keep harping on it, because it's who we are, it's why we've had success, and we will get there. We will get there. It is a long process, and I saw glimpses and I saw good responses today with it. It's consistency of doing the disciplined defensive tendencies that are our core values.
Coach, there's one play that really sticks out from in the third quarter where there was a rebound secured, pitch out to Gretchen near half court, and she immediately sends a pass over the top, and the ball barely touched the ground. How do you incentivize more activity like that, and seeing that it has such a positive impact on the flow of the game for y'all?
Yeah, that was a beautiful, play. So I think that's some of the just chemistry stuff of them playing together and understanding, but that also, because that was in transition, the play you're talking about, and Gretchen, is that the one she made the pass to?
To Maddie.
Yeah, to Maddie. That also came off of a really good defensive play, right? So now we're able to go and utilize the skill sets that these guards have. I mean, Gretchen is a really good passer. Maddie's a really good passer. Destiny, Jazz, they're great vision and they're willing passers, but that all starts from getting stops. But that was a beautiful play, and we see those. That's the fun part about this group, really, is that, and also frustrating, but it's like, you can see, I see certain things and I'm like, damn, when we put all this together, like, we can get there, right? And so some of those plays, it shows the skill set and the ability of these guards. And I think it's nice, just the height. They can see over the press, they can see over and make some of those passes.
We talked a lot about the depth in the post with CC in foul trouble, Lenny coming back, Haven still pretty inexperienced. What's this non-conference for you guys to just kind of get that post all up to speed?
Yeah, I mean, today you saw, I put a lot of them in and rotated them around. I don't want CC to ever be in foul trouble, but it's a good learning experience for her, and then also for our team to have to step up and who's going to step up and when something like that happens, right? So again, I don't have a great answer for you. It's just, a lot of it's going to be through experience that we're going to have to learn, and then it's going to be who produces when they're out there. It's very simple. If you produce, I'm gonna keep you out there. We're trying to win games, so if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and you're defending and you're rebounding and you're running the plays right, that person's going to stay out there longer. So we just need people to continue to be ready when their number's called and produce.
CC was only out there for about 11 and a half minutes, but your team was up 23 points when she was on the floor. I guess, what does that say about her impact when she is playing?
Yeah, I thought she played more than that. That's crazy. She only played 11 minutes. I mean, I think that it's, it's good that she scored, last game, 22, and she still had 8 points in 11 minutes. So to be able to still score 91 with her out there, I think it does show the depth. And some other guys stepping up, but we need her on the floor. So biggest learning curve as a freshman, though, is defense, right? And learning, especially when the game's called that tight, learning, when you're gonna have to pull back some. And I kept her in there on purpose. I mean, I might have pulled her out earlier in a different game, but I needed to learn too. Let's see if she can play with 4 fouls, right? Let's see if she can do that. So those are things, again, early on. I'm trying to learn, she's learning. And then once we're in a different game, maybe in the Big Ten, I might not have kept her out there for that.
I just have a two-parter about Aaliyah. I know you said she was getting back to things a little bit. There's kind of a little bit of a gap here before Sunday. Do you have any sense of optimism that she may or may not be available? And when she does come back, what can that do for Destiny, just to have someone else to take the reins a little bit and slow things down?
Yeah, hopefully, I will know more. I think she was meeting with the doc after tonight, so I'll know more. But she's been doing a little bit in practice, so we're hopeful. Hopefully she can maybe play some minutes. I don't know. It's kind of day to day to see how she responds. But again, I think it'll be good for all of us. And she needs game reps. We got to remember, she has not played because she didn't play. She didn't play in our scrimmage. She didn't play in the exhibition, obviously. So she hasn't been out there. So then that'll be another kind of learning curve. It'll be her first game, and as we ease her back into it. So, but I do think, there's times I'm like, I wish we had one more guard. So I think that'll be just for some rotations and getting people some breathers. Because again, that's where last year they had to play through. They had to play through when they're tired, and they had to play extended minutes. And I think our defense suffered some. So it'll be nice to be able to kind of rotate them in, give them even a minute, 30-second break, whatever it is, and kind of rotate people around.
Last one.
With Letty also coming back from a pretty significant injury, where would you say she is on her sort of road to recovery in terms of just getting back to 100%?
Yeah, it's gonna be a process too, right? She hasn't played in almost almost 2 years and what she went through. So, you know, and then there's going to be days that she may not feel as good too. And so it's just all part of the process. It's going to take her time. I thought she did some really good things tonight. And then there's some times where, you know, we need her to be better defensively and protect the rim a little bit more. But, you know, I got to be patient with her. She has to be patient with herself, because she has to kind of just get back into that groove of playing basketball. And now it's going to be playing, you know, we have a lot of games now. There's not a lot of recovery time. So how does she respond to that? Luckily, we have a day off tomorrow, and then we still have 3 days preparation, which will be good for a team that is still kind of recovering from some injuries.